Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. Follow me on Instagram at P4P Boxing Real News. What is going on? So, Jermaine Ortiz let it slip away. He had that fight. He had Lomachenko. He was doing great work on Lomachenko. He had that fight, man. He had that fight. But ultimately, he lost it. The second half of the fight, I don't know what happened to Jermaine Ortiz. He gassed out and he just couldn't no more, And obviously Lomachenko turned up in the second half of that fight, and I felt like it was gonna come down to the last round, and I felt like it was gonna come down to those championship rounds, and that's exactly what it really was, right? But the judges' scorecards was obviously we had that 117-111, which was horrendous, horrendous. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see that at all. You know what I'm saying? They were gonna give this fight to Lomachenko. That dude, I don't know where the fuck he was at. You know what I'm saying? He was not watching this fight. But that 115-113 is actually the perfect score for this fight. And I felt like the only thing where I disagree with this judge, the 115-113, is the 11th round I gave to uh, Lomachenko, and the second round I gave to Jermaine Ortiz. So it was just one round off. But other than that, I feel like that's pretty much my scorecard. But to be honest, he let that fight slip away. That 117-111 though is crazy. I mean, the dude in the middle was him. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder. You know what I mean? That was Stevie Wonder in the middle. But other than that, though, man, I just felt like man Ortiz needed to capitalize. He needed to capitalize like how when Tio in that 12th round, you knew he solidified that fight. Yes, Lomachenko came on strong in the second half of the fight. And maybe that's just what Lomachenko is. You know what I'm saying? He's a slow starter and he comes strong in the second half of the fight, especially if he's down and they tell him he's gonna come back and he's gonna start putting in some work. But obviously, Jermaine Ortiz, man, he was the bigger dude. He just had everything to beat Lomachenko that night. He had that fight in his hands, and he has nobody to blame but himself. I just think that he was well prepared for this fight. He was very well prepared for this fight, and everything was lining up. You know what I'm saying? You could make an argument for this kid that that Lomachenko only had like one round in the first half of that fight. You can make an argument for that. Cause but other than that, he had this fight in his hands. That 12th round, he needed to solidify to make a statement that this was his fight to win. You know what I'm saying? This was the fight for him to win. But he didn't make that statement. So Lomachenko got the nod. Um, and now Devin Haney fans are right. They're 100% correct about this. Devin Haney fans are saying, uh, you know, Lomachenko's too small. Devin Haney's gonna beat him. He has everything to beat him. And right as of right now, I feel the same way. I feel like he's just too big. He's gonna be fast. You know what I'm saying? He has that jab that's gonna keep Lomachenko at bay. And it's gonna be a very tough fight for Lomachenko to get inside on Devin Haney, especially a Devin Haney that clinches every time he throws a punch or clinches every time somebody gets near him. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be very tough, and especially since he's the smaller guy. It's going to be very tough for Lomachenko to get inside on Devin Haney. Um, we seen in the fight against Jermaine Ortiz, the angles and everything at one point they were non-existent, and that was the thing that Jermaine Ortiz was doing very well. He wasn't allowing Lomachenko to get those angles. He wasn't allowing Lomachenko to be Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time Lomachenko would smother his work because he throws those quick two punches, but and he'll come in and he'll try to hit an angle and they'll just be smothering it because um Jermaine Ortiz will offset that move at it out of his angle. You know what I'm saying? So Lomachenko, does he have a shot against Devin Haney? As of right now, from the performance, yes. 10-month layoff, yes. We know Lomachenko is coming from war and stuff like that. We know it, you know what I'm saying? But we also can't negate that he is an older fighter. Um, is he the only advantage that I really see that Lomachenko has inside of the ring against Devin Haney is IQ. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Lomachenko's IQ is way higher than Devin Haney's. Other than that, if you can't, if Devin Haney keeps moving on him and doesn't allow him to gain angles, he's gonna win the fight off points. If Devin Haney just keeps his jab in his face, doesn't allow Lomachenko to come get inside, he's gonna beat him off points. Simple as that. Let's be honest. A lot of people are writing and saying, "No, Lomachenko this, Lomachenko that." But to be honest, as of right now, as it stands, the way that Devin Haney fights is a very cautious fighter. He's very scared to engage, and he's not going to allow Lomachenko to do much work, especially if his number one weapon is the clinch. You know, Devin Haney's number one weapon is when he grabs you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? He gives you the bear hug of hell, and then and he smothers you. Like I ain't gonna say that, but he smothers you. You know what I'm saying? And Lomachenko, I feel like since he's a smaller dude, like how Devin Haney fans are already discrediting Lomachenko, yes, he's gonna have that advantage over Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so Lomachenko's gonna have to do a lot if he wants to beat Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a guy that fucking throws himself every time and just, oh man, it's gonna be one of the most nastiest fights. And I'm telling you now, it's gonna be one of those fights where it's gonna be like, dog, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Because we know that Devin Haney's not gonna stand inside. He's not gonna allow Lomachenko to get his work done. He's gonna be it's gonna be excessive clinching going on. That's gonna be the winner of this fight. The excessive clinching. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna, soon as Lomachenko tries to get his work on, he's gonna grab him. And Lomachenko's gonna be like, what the fuck, the whole time. He's not gonna fight. And we're not gonna see no angles. We're not gonna see any of that. The game plan is simply gonna be, we're gonna jab, and if he tries to get inside, we're gonna clinch him. Simple as that. There's no nothing else because Lomachenko is small. You know what I'm saying? What is Lomachenko gonna do? He doesn't have the reach advantage against Devin Haney. He doesn't have any advantages against Devin Haney except for an IQ. That's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like an IQ is simply gonna be a fighter that's just gonna be very, very dirty in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He's not. I don't think that Lomachenko is gonna want it that bad. We don't know though. I don't know, right? I don't know. Obviously, this is for undisputed. Lomachenko's been waiting for this moment. He wants this moment and he wants it. I don't know, right? Um, but how bad does he want it? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he could have had the George Kambosos fight, but he's gonna be fighting Devin Haney, so it's even a better he's fighting even better competition. You know what I'm saying? Uh, maybe he puts on a performance of a lifetime. Maybe he gets fucking shitted on. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see his age, and he's short, and he just doesn't have anything that's gonna be able to affect Devin Haney. And this was another problem where Devin Haney fought George Kambosos. The problem was that Kambosos had zero advantage in the fight. There was nothing there that there was no advantage for George Kambosos. You know, nothing, zero. You know what I'm saying? Even IQ, you can't even. He's not even smarter. You know what I'm saying? So it was gonna be very hard for George Kambosos to beat Devin Haney, right? And as we saw in the second fight, it's still the same result. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have the mental capacity, he didn't have the physical capacity. He was a smaller guy, and he just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't faster. He couldn't time him. He couldn't counter. He couldn't do nothing. It was just a simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same exact fight that I see Lomachenko fighting. Right? Obviously, Lomachenko is more skilled than George Kambosos. Obviously, Lomachenko is IQ is higher than George Kambosos. So but the only advantage that I can really see and say about Lomachenko over Devin Haney would actually be just the IQ. Other than that, there's nothing really there because skill set. Yes, Lomachenko is a very skilled fighter. The problem is Devin Haney is a very good clincher. You know what I'm saying? He's a very good clincher. He will hug you if he fucking smells any type of danger around him. He will start hugging. And that's just gonna make the fight very nasty. It's gonna be very, very ugly and unentertaining. It's just gonna be horrible, horrible. You know what I'm saying? And as we saw with Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz, you take away the angles and he doesn't have shit to work with. He doesn't really have shit to work with. He comes on strong in the second half of the fight, but will Devin Haney, because Devin Haney has very good stamina as well. Because when you're a marathon runner, that's one of your advantages. You have a lot of stamina to run inside of the ring. Simple as that, right? Jermaine Ortiz gassed out. We saw Tio in the second half of the fight against Lomachenko. He was gassing out, but he was picking it up as well. I mean, it looked like he was gassing out because he kind of let off the pedal, let off the gas. But the 12th round, I mean, solidified it. Jermaine Ortiz needed that type of statement Saturday night. He needed that. That the same way that Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko. That's what I thought I was watching. I said, damn, Jermaine Ortiz came to fucking fight. And it was beautiful. It was a great performance by Jermaine Ortiz, but he just needed that extra edge at the end, the cherry on top, just to show the judges I won this fight. I solidified this fight. I'm fucking your plans up. Fuck this. I'm getting the shot at undisputed. You know, but I've been saying Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. I just didn't think that he could fight at that high level, right? But obviously, he proved me wrong, 100% wrong, because I want to see more of this kid. This kid has a lot of skill, and this is only going to be this is gonna get his experience high. You know what I'm saying? His experience level is gonna be higher and higher. And he's gonna be one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna cause problem to a lot of guys in that 135 division. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's talk about let's talk about Devin Haney gets inside of the ring and Lomachenko says, lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Lightweight. This is heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, um, pointing out that Devin Haney is a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? That simple as that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Simply pointing out this motherfucker is a fat ass. There's no way this guy's at lightweight. And this is a huge problem. You know what I'm saying? This is a huge problem. And that's another advantage. When he comes into the ring the night of the fight, he's going to be 30 times heavier than this fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? So when he goes and fucking clinches him, guess what? He's just gonna put all his weight on him. You know what I'm saying? All 180 fucking pounds on top of this fucking 125 pounder that barely comes in at 135. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fucking sad. You know what I mean? But a lot of people have high hopes, and a lot of people are shitting on Lomachenko, especially after the performance. I think that, obviously 10-month layoff, whatever, write it off. That's a bad performance. It was probably uh sparring partner who is a good fighter, you know what I'm saying? Who's a fucking good fighter, you know what I mean? And you can't take away nothing from Jermaine Ortiz. I actually feel like he could have won that fight. He could have beat Lomachenko that night. I just don't think that he that 12th round he didn't want it as bad, man. And I think that was probably the worst part about it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they was gonna give it to uh Lomachenko, but I just feel like that 12th round would have made people, you know what I'm saying, say, yo, this dude, he won that fight, you know what I'm saying, because he sealed the deal, you know what I mean? But look, man, Lomachenko, he's a really good fighter, but I think that now it's past his time. You know what I'm saying? He's small, and he's really I just don't see nothing that he will do. He ain't gonna do nothing, to be honest, that's gonna be able to beat Devin Haney. You know what I mean? And it's perfect timing. To be honest, it's perfect timing. A lot of this stuff has been perfect timing for Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's just how it goes sometimes. You know what I mean? It's just been perfect timing for Devin Haney. Everything's been perfect timing. I mean, stepping into an undisputed fight when he wasn't even supposed to be in that undisputed fight, to be honest. It was supposed to be a Lomachenko fight. He steps in, gets the victory, becomes undisputed, beats George Kambosos very convincingly, goes back out, rematch, whatever, beats him again convincingly, undisputed. And now Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? The Lomachenko fight um is gonna probably happen, you know what I mean? And it's at a right time because Lomachenko really ain't got, you know what I'm saying? I just don't see how Lomachenko beats Devin Haney. It's no possibility there. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's a possibility, to be honest. And I can't wait to see the odds on that fight because this is the best time to put money on this type of fights, especially if Lomachenko is going to be the underdog. Maybe Lomachenko gets the underdog, right? Well, shit, it'll be crazy if Lomachenko's the underdog, right? You probably feel a little confident to put some money on Lomachenko. But let's say Devin Haney, the undisputed champion, is the underdog that night. I'll put money on Devin Haney. Why not? Because Devin Haney has a shot. He has a big shot. I mean, I think that people are writing Devin Haney off too soon. I think that of it's more leveled now. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Devin Haney has more of an advantage just because of all the attributes that Devin Haney has, right? If we talk about skill, Lomachenko's obviously better skilled than Devin Haney as far as footwork and shit like that. Obviously, he's way better than him. You know what I'm saying? In that, right? But I'm looking at what Devin Haney does inside of the ring and what he brings to the table each and every time he comes out to fight. You know what I'm saying? And when you see a guy like Lomachenko who's very skilled like that, who's gonna be fast as well, you know what I'm saying, who's gonna have good head movement, who's gonna put pressure on you, I think that his resort, because his number one weapon is not the jab. Let's get that out the way. Let's stop saying shit like that. His number one weapon is that he clinches. His number one weapon is he will grab you. He will grab you and he will hug you until and frustrate you the whole night. You know what I'm saying? He will do that. You know what I'm saying? That's his best attribute. That is his best skill set. That's his best weapon inside of the ring. Devin Haney, his best weapon inside of that ring is when he clinches you. You know, the jab is second. You know, he has a good jab. You know what I mean? But that jab is beatable. His jab is beatable. You know what I'm saying? What you can't beat is you being 5'5". This motherfucker's 5'8", comes in 180 pounds. You only at 135, and this motherfucker's just leaning on you the whole fucking night. Ain't no way in hell you could beat that. You know what I'm saying? That's just delusionalness. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part about it. But hey, you make the weight come weigh-ins, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You go out there and you fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? You might look like a skeleton at the weigh-in, you know what I mean? But hey, if you feel whatever your body's saying, you know what I'm saying? But I think that shit is dangerous. Don't do that shit. You know what I mean? And I think that this probably will be his last fight against if he fights against Lomachenko. Hopefully that fight does happen. That will probably be his last fight at 135. Ain't no way in hell this kid stays there. I think that shit is gonna become a health hazard, and he needs to get out of it if he does. If he wins or loses, who gives a fuck? Get out of there, bro. Because you're a growing young man. Ain't no fucking way you're 23 and you staying at one day and sacrificing yourself when you coming in at fucking 180 pounds fight night, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. You know what I mean? That is crazy. That is crazy. But hey, it should be a good fight though. You know what I'm saying? It should be a good fight. I'm not writing Lomachenko off. You know what I'm saying? I might be saying that Lomachenko really doesn't have a shot against Devin Haney, and I might be right, but I might be wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm underestimating Lomachenko, right? Maybe I'm underestimating him. Maybe because he had a bad performance. Let's think about it like this: maybe he had a bad performance, and I didn't like the way he came out. Maybe I didn't like that he hasn't improving since the Tiafimo fight where he took a loss and he hasn't gotten back in the gym and changed anything because obviously, when he fought Jermaine Ortiz, somebody who has pretty similar style to uh Tiafimo Lopez, you know what I mean? Pretty similar fight, I'm saying. Sorry, pretty similar fight from Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? That right there is showing me that it's gonna be a struggle for Lomachenko, right? Because Teofimo Lopez, obviously Jermaine Ortiz did his homework. He did his homework and he went back and probably was studying what Teofimo Lopez did that night. You know what I'm saying? Because they had a similar fight. But the only thing that Jermaine Ortiz didn't do was finish that fucking fight. That's all he didn't do. You know what I'm saying? But they had the similar fight. The thing about Lomachenko, where I say he's not beating Devin Haney, he has not improved. He was way better than Nakatani. He was way better than Richard Comey. But when you saw a fighter like Teofimo Lopez, the same game plan as Teofimo Lopez, it gave him trouble again. What the fuck is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And I just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna bet the bank on Lomachenko beating Devin Haney. I just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the nah, I'm just not doing it. This guy is 5'5", you know what I mean? And this fucking guy, he's coming in fucking 30 fucking pounds over the weight limit after the next day on fight night. Hell no. You gotta be crazy. You know what I mean? You have to be crazy. There's no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in hell I could put money on Lomachenko to win that fight. But shit, I mean, if he's an underdog, you know what I'm saying? I'll throw a little something on it, but it ain't gonna be as much as if Devin Haney's the underdog. You know what I mean? I'd rather take that on. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the advantages are gonna fall on Devin Haney's side. Only thing that I said Lomachenko has over Devin Haney is IQ. Simple as that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he has a better skill set. But what the fuck is a better skill set when a guy is just gonna hug you after every time you every time he throws a punch or every time you try to get some work in on the inside? Because Lomachenko, like I've said, he's gonna have to get inside on Devin Haney. Will Devin Haney allow him to get inside? Hell no, because Devin Haney's number one weapon inside of that ring is to clinch motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's good at. He's good at clinching. You know what I mean? Now, like I've been saying, they need to start watching that shit. Excessive clinching is not good for the sport. It's not. I'm sorry to tell anybody. Yes, we understand this is boxing. There's gonna be clinches. There's gonna be holding. There's gonna be shit like that, obviously. But when you do it after every punch, when you do it after everything, when if somebody tries to get inside, you start hugging. Yo, that's excessive. That's excessive. You know what I'm saying? The first fight with George Campbell, what the fuck? They said he had 56 clinches. He probably wasted over 10 minutes, 15 minutes clinching. That's sad. You know what I mean? That's sad. That's called excessive clinching. That needs to be cut. That shit needs to be cut. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not obviously not gonna and that's the dirtiest form of fighting, to be honest. That's the dirtiest form of fighting because you're not really fighting. You're just there, you know what I'm saying, just throwing yourself, and you're not doing shit. You just throwing yourself, oh, I'm gonna throw my jab out, throw my jab out, throw my jab out. You're not even elusive. You don't even look. great. You just there. You know what I'm saying? You just going through the motions, just throwing jab out, jab out. I mean, hopefully Lomachenko brings something to the table. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, right? Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? But it should be a good fight though. It should be a good fight nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? It should be a good fight. And I would love to see. I would love to see it. I want to see what Lomachenko brings to the table that night, and I want to see what Devin Haney, how he's gonna come out under those bright lights, especially against a guy like Lomachenko, who's known as the Matrix, who's known to have the skill set to beat any fighter, who's known as a number one pound for pound fighter at the time, at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see him when he goes and fights Lomachenko type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's when I'm gonna start like. Uh, looking at Devin Haney a little bit more serious. Like, okay, he's gonna be a really good fucking fighter. You know what I'm saying? As of right now, he's not the type of fighter that I'm interested in even like watching. I'm not even interested in his fights. He's the type of fighter where he's like, he looks very beatable, but even his resume he's fought mid-level competition, you know what I'm saying? Guys that he's obviously better than. And I think with Lomachenko, I think that yes, Lomachenko might not be in his prime, might be a little out of his prime, he might be smaller, he might not have all those attributes to beat him and shit like that. But still Lomachenko is still Lomachenko. And I think that would be a great name under his belt if he does get that fucking victory. But what's going on, Mr. Chinny Chin Chin? Andre Ward, though, him well. Andre Ward, though, him well. What that mean, bro? Rewrite that. But it should be a good fight though. You know what I'm saying? This weekend though, man. This weekend we got some fights. We got some fights. We got some fights. And I think that this is gonna be very interesting this weekend. Things gonna get very, very interesting. We got Morel Jr. Versus Yerbalanoli. All right. And then you got Bivol versus Ramirez. So obviously Morel, you know what I'm saying? One of those guys up and coming. You definitely got to keep your eye out. If you haven't watched Morel, you definitely want to tune in Saturday night, November 5th on Showtime Boxing. You know what I'm saying? It should be good, man. Morel's a good fighter. He's definitely a guy you want to keep an eye out. He's an up and coming fighter. Fights at 168. You definitely want to watch that fight. And then of course you got on the zone, you got Bivol versus Ramirez. Come on, man. This is gonna be a good fight. Zordo Ramirez, he's gonna have a tough time against Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a tough time. Let's be honest. You know. Oh, Andre Ward's jab and clinch. Yup. And that shit to me, bro. To me, that shit is probably one of the most weakest moves in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I think that, to be honest, like the type of fights that I like watching are obviously action packed, right? Obviously, I'm here to be entertained. I don't give a fuck about your how clean your fucking jabbing and how good you hug on dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's not my MO. That's not what I watch boxing for. I like watching fights. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when two guys go inside of a ring and one guy is just hugging a guy. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it makes it is just awkward. You know what I mean? It's just awkward. You're just watching. I'd rather do other shit than with my time. Obviously, we invest our time into the sport, and some people are trying to ruin the sport by doing these uh tactics that they like jabbing and clinching like I mean clinching after every fucking punch, clinching after every single thing. Somebody tries to get in, I want to clinch. You know that? Clinch, 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 clinch. You know what I'm saying? But it just makes the sport look weak. That's why people don't fucking even like watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's sorry. Boxing gets sorry shit sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think that right there, we adding fuel to the fire by putting it by watching shit like that. Don't watch that shit. That shit right there shouldn't be. even close to a boxing match. That shit should be called like I said, a marathon, man. It's a marathon. You go inside of a ring, you run around, and you fucking just want to clinch a guy and shit like that, bro. There's other sports that you could fucking try out for, man. And that shit is sad. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. I'm trying to see that fight though. I think it'll be a good fight. I think that Devin Haney will beat uh Lomachenko. I think that his clinching tactics are just gonna be up to par by that time as well. I think that he practices that shit inside of the ring. You know what I'm saying? I think that 1 hour a day, they literally fucking just stand there and clinch. Just let's just clinch. You know what I'm saying? But he said you got Bivol in and out combos with footwork. Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. I think I got Bivol as well. I don't think that Zordo Ramirez. Yes, Zordo Ramirez is a bigger guy. Obviously, he's like what 6'2" or something like that. Um, he's gonna be bigger than Canelo. We're not gonna see, Bivol Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be better. He's gonna be bigger than Canelo, and obviously more power than Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And you know how one punch could change a fight. You know what I mean? But Bivol's not there to be hit either. He has a very high IQ. Bivol is a very good fighter. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be a good fight. Very interesting. This is a very, very sneaky fight right here because Zordo could probably pull it off, you know what I'm saying? But does he have the skill, you know what I'm saying, to pull that shit off? Does he have the skill to keep up with Bivol? And that's where I'm not 100% confident on Zurdo Ramirez. That's where I'm not 100% confident on. Is he going to be able to keep up? He's not going to be I just don't know, man. I don't know. But like you said, Bivol in and out combos with footwork. He's a very dangerous fighter. I don't think he'll get Zordo Ramirez out of there. I think that he probably will win on the scorecards, but it's gonna be a good fight. You know what I mean? Because I want to see what type of Zordo Ramirez comes out, right? Obviously, Zordo Ramirez has the quantity of fights, and Bivol has the quality in fights, right? Obviously, he's fought the more quality opponents and has the more quality wins on his resume, while Zordo has the more quantity. You know what I'm saying? So, very experienced fighter, but Bivol is very experienced by the fighters that he's fought inside of that division, and also fighting the pound for pound number one guy right now. Well, like 3-4, right? But Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? So he very tough, very tough. This is gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm excited for that fight. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta catch Morrell Jr. too. Very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? 168. So he could probably challenge one of these two guys in the near future. You know what I'm saying? I think he's only got I can't remember his record, but up and coming fighter, you know what I'm saying, already on the main event. So he's gonna be a star. You know what I mean? But man, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. Follow me on Instagram at P for P Boxing Real News, and we out. Peace.